Hey Beans, and welcome to a Did You Know video, the series in which I'm going to overload you with some of the best facts in all of Animal Jam, including one of my favorites today from one of my bestest Beans, who has actually figured out exactly what time it is in Jamaa, down to the hour. So stay tuned till the end to become one of the best learned Beans in all of Jamaa, and just to get some hard knowledge dropped on you. So anyways, Beans, I hope you enjoy some awesome facts about Animal Jam. So it's a little obvious that Solarcade is this huge space-themed place, and then, you've got these stars all over the background, and you have the rocket ship as the place, and the whole building is shaped like a rocket ship. But did you know that Animal Jam actually threw in a little bit of an Easter egg in here? And I absolutely love this one. I had no idea that this existed until recently, but when I was just looking around for some cool facts about Animal Jam, I just happened to see this. It happens very rarely, and it's a little bit difficult to see, but every once in a while, a little alien will pop up in the window of the rocket ship, as you can see here. There he goes. It's really quick, and it's very hard to see because he's a dark gray on a black background, but he is there if you look close enough. Very interesting, and Animal Jam, I love little things like that. Solarcade has been in the game how long, and I had no idea. Next up is one that I found pretty funny. Animal Jam recently added pet certificates onto regular Animal Jam and then consequently added them onto Animal Jam Play Wild. And although on Animal Jam there aren't that many interesting pet foods, there's one that I absolutely love on Animal Jam Play Wild. Every once in a while, your horse can have its favorite food as beans. Beans, boys. Animal Jam actually did it. It's a shame that there aren't any bean foods in Animal Jam itself, but oh well. I'll deal with Play Wild for now. So here's something that I find pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's a glitch or just a really interesting little thing Animal Jam threw in. But in Tyranny's Theater, one of the least visited rooms in all of Animal Jam, if not the least visited room in all of Animal Jam, normally when you enter, well, it lights up and then slowly dims, and you have to go back down into it for it to light up again. What makes this so cool to me is that we're not totally sure how it works, and it's this weird little interaction that you can totally play around with. Here's something pretty fun. On Animal Jam Play Wild, there's a little map that you can find that shows all of Jamaa, but on this map, there's a little thing that looks like the Forgotten Desert. So what the heck is this? It definitely looks like a desert area, much like the Forgotten Desert area, but that doesn't totally line up with the lore. So it would make sense that you would go right next to the already explored lands to go, get to the Forgotten Desert. But it's weird because when you get there, there are no phantoms. And normally when alphas defeat phantoms in a land, the animals can go into that land. It's been conquered by the regular alphas and animals, so now the phantoms don't have control, so we can go into it. Yet it seems as though the Forgotten Desert still is controlled by phantoms and we can't quite move into there yet. But it does seem like it's a likely place to get added soon enough because, well, it's right next to Jamaa, and it's likely that Animal Jam's alphas will go in and beat whatever's keeping us out of that land and move us right in there. Plus, it's right next to us. It'd be pretty easy to move into. Here's one of my favorites. This is from Piece 5559. I didn't actually notice this because it's so subtle, yet it adds so much life to the game once you actually start to notice it. So basically, when you play as a toucan and you just stand still for a while, well, your head starts to turn side to side. You may not even realize it at first, but once you start looking for it, you'll really notice it. And that's why the toucans just feel so much more alive than a lot of the animals. I mean, with most animals, it's just kind of like a default up and down, side to side, or something like that repeated over and over and over. But with the toucan, your head actually moves, and it's not just repeated wing flapping like it is with a lot of animals, and it really makes them feel like they have new life. And I really like this new style of animation by Animal Jam. So if you do add animals in the future, well, okay, when you add animals in the future, please do something similar to this. I think this is awesome, and it makes the toucans really feel alive while not being obnoxious or causing a ton of lag. So this next thing is so cool, and something I never thought about, and it's from a bean who has never given me their username, even though they've given me so many amazing conspiracies and ideas and facts and glitches. So I'm sorry to this bean, but I can't give you credit, and I don't want to use your real name in a video, but if you ever want to send me your username, I'd love to give you credit for all of the amazing stuff you've given me. Anyways, getting off of topic, so I'm sure you've noticed in Animal Jam, the shadows never move. This is pretty normal. I mean, it's a video game. It'd be a little ridiculous if the shadows were moving left and right, but that begs the question, what time is it in Jamaa? Normally you'd just be like, oh, Julian, it's the day. Like, it's just the day all the time. But then you think, well, the shadows tell you that the sun has to be in a particular position, right? So what time is it? Well, let's take a look at some of the biggest shadows in the game, like this giant tree in Appendale. As you can see, it falls to the right of the tree. In places like Coral Canyons, the right side of the cliff is much darker than the left, telling us that the sun is coming from this side over here on the left. This is true for every single land. In Kambara Outback, Gabby's Animal Hospital has its shadow going to the right. In Crystal Sands, things like the Pet Wash all have their shadows going at the same right angle. As you can see here, the left side of Tierney's Aquarium is brighter than the right side, but the only land that remains an exception is Jama Township. So that's a little bit of a weird one. I'm just going to ignore that for now. But basically, from all these shadows that we see all around Jama, we can determine that it is in fact 7 a.m. or 5 p.m. So the positions of the shadows tell us where the sun is in the sky, because wherever the sun is, it will be beating down on these objects, and the shadows will be in the direction the sun is pointing. So right now we can tell that the sun is over here, more towards this My Den icon up in the world map. So now the question is, well, is that rising or setting? It all depends on whether this is east or west, and since there is no compass in Jama that we know of, well, the only way to do that is to check the moss on the trees, because moss generally grows on the north side of trees, and so we can see that this moss is growing on the north side, which means that this over here must be the east. So if you think about it, if the moss was growing on the other side of the tree and it was facing the same way that we were, then this would be east over here, and this would be west over here. But since the moss is on the other side, well, we flip it, and all of a sudden this becomes the east. So since this is the east, we can tell that, well, the sun is rising, because the sun rises in the east. So that means that it must be 7 a.m. in the morning at Jama at all times. The one exception to this rule is the mirror statue up in Jama Township. I mean, this is a little bit of a spooky one. The shadow goes the opposite direction, but that does seem to make sense because, well, the light beams are coming straight down on it from an unknown source, so it bends the rules a little bit. And so that's why there's this little bit of a variance. But in general, every other shadow in Jama follows this rule that it is 7 a.m. at all times. Another funny little one you may not have noticed if you don't play Wild religiously. There is the Fox's Only Party in Play Wild. And in it, there's a pretty funny little thing Animal Jim threw in. It says, "What do we say?" Get it? Because they're foxes. And there was that viral meme about what does the fox say going around, when was it, like 2014? So that's basically, you know, the joke, Animal Jim. Making jokes, hearty laugh, ha ha ha. Good one, Animal Jim. But seriously, that stuff is so much fun. There is nothing better than these hidden shops Animal Jam throws into their little dens that they put inside of this epic dens list. They're so full of themselves, they just put themselves right there at the top as an epic den. So, I'm just kidding. No rap, Animal Jam. But these are really, really cool. They're very well decorated, and I recommend you go check out every new one. Not just because they're cool, but also because Animal Jam throws in a lot of little secrets. If you haven't heard already, because this has been blowing up all over social media, especially been blowing up my email, a lot of people like to tell me about this stuff. There is actually a secret shop and a secret hot cocoa machine. Now this one doesn't totally make sense here, but if you click the plate of cookies in Animal Jam's gingerbread house, you get to make hot cocoa. Don't ask me why, don't ask me how, you just do. Trust me, okay? You just make hot cocoa. And then we're all done. Yay, we got hot cocoa. And then there's the little thing that Animal Jam throws into a lot of what they do. It's these secret shops. Basically, to find these, you go around and you click random things around the map until you find the secret shop. Voila! Very fancy stuff. It reminds me a lot of those secret items that Club Penguin used to have inside of their magazines, where you'd click all over the magazine and find those secret items. I think it's really cool how Animal Jam does it. It really gets you to go and explore this brand new den and have a lot of fun. So thank you so much, Animal Jam, for doing these cool little secret shops. It's a great way to introduce new items into the game and give a party something to make an entire video about. No rap. And lastly, one fun little fact about the Penguin. Normally when you equip the sports jersey, as you can see here, it's 0-0, but for some reason, on the Penguin it becomes number 88. For every single other animal, it's number 0-0, but the Penguin was a little special, and it's 88. Don't know why, don't know how, Animal Jam just decided 88 was a good number for penguins. Anyways, Beans, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed some of these facts. Thank you to everyone who has submitted, and as always, if you have something really cool that you want to get featured, please send it in to julian2moments@gmail.com. I love getting cool little fact submissions. There's nothing better than going and learning something that I never knew before, so hopefully this video has the same effect on you as it does for me reading your emails. So I'm really glad you guys can be a big part in this, and the community is so helpful in all of this. So anyways, Beans, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.